Good afternoon, Periscope and YouTube. Adam Webster here today to talk about FHA mortgages. I had a good friend of mine ask about getting what was necessary to get a mortgage. And I've spent a few years in the mortgage business, and as I was explaining that, I thought I should write an article and put a video up. So the article went live on LinkedIn today. I'll include the link down below. And also wanted to do a video on some steps you can do to help better your odds of getting approved for an FHA mortgage. Now, what is an FHA mortgage? FHA is the Federal Housing Administration, and they guarantee mortgages. So lenders have some criteria they follow, and I'll give you a couple of tips today. That way you can be in a good position to when you want to purchase a home, you'll be able to get approved using an FHA mortgage. Now, a couple of things that they look at. One is credit score. Now, credit score alone doesn't determine everything, but it will determine your interest rate as well as eligibility. Typically, they look for a minimum of 580. Most lenders are going to look for a 620 minimum. There's going to be some tiers, so you'll have say 620 to 680, 680 to 720, 720 plus, or something like that. And then your credit score is also going to give, well, your credit report will also give the lender kind of your entire picture and your payment history, which is really what they're looking for because they want to make sure they get their mortgage payment every single month. And collections, if there's any on your credit report, you're going to want to get those taken care of. And the FHA isn't as strict on medical collections, so you don't have to worry as much about those. But if you had an old cell phone bill or a cable bill or anything like that that went to collections, make sure you get that taken care of and get it paid, and then make sure it gets reported to the credit bureau. So send a copy of the bill in showing it's paid in full, and that will help. Now, your credit score isn't primarily based on collections. A lot of people say, well, I have bad credit because I have a lot of collections. A good majority of your credit score is comprised of your payment history. And lenders look for three things, or three accounts that report to the credit bureaus that you've paid on time in the past 12 months. Sometimes if you have a strong credit score, just having two you can get away with, but three is ideal. One, it would be good to have an installment loan, like a car loan or a lease or something that's just paid, a single payment that's paid every single month. And then you also want to have some revolving debt, like a credit card, a store charge card, something like that. And you want to keep those balances low, ideally below 30% of your available credit. That's called your credit utilization ratio. We'll get into that in another video. Actually, I'm going to do one on credit separately. But keep the balances low. So if you have a credit card with a $500 limit, keep that balance below $175. Or if you have a $300 limit, keep the balance below $100. If it goes above that, that can actually hurt your credit score. And if you have some credit issues, you can get what they call a secure credit card, which a secure credit card is where you put money on deposit with the lender. Say it's $500. You'll give them $500 up front, and then they'll give you a credit card with a $500 limit. So if you don't pay, they already have your money. But as long as you make a payment every month, that's going to help establish your credit. And it's not really based on credit score for the approval because it's secured, so they have the money up front. So if you say have one or two things already on your credit that get reported every month and you need to add one, do that. And if you have 12 months of on-time payments with at least three things, that's going to put you at the table with the best odds. Next will be down payment. With FHA, one of the nice things about that is they really only look for a 3.5% down payment. Where a traditional mortgage and conventional loans, they're going to look for anywhere between 5 and 20%. So if you're looking to buy a $100,000 house, you're going to want to have $3,500 set aside for your down payment. Now, what's nice about FHA is that can be gifted to you. So if you have a family member that can help with the down payment, there's just an extra form you have to fill out and you have to kind of show the paper trail. But that can open the door for a lot of people if you don't necessarily have that cash. But 3.5% down payment, it's all you're going to need with FHA as far as that goes. Now, there's also some other expenses you're going to want to be aware of and be prepared for. In addition to the down payment, you're also going to have an appraisal that you're going to have to pay for, which is usually between $350 and $450 depending on your area. But just make sure you have funds available for that. And then you're also going to want to get a home inspection, which that could be a couple $100, but make sure that you don't want to skip that step. Home inspection will let you know if there's anything wrong with the house or if anything that looks like may become an issue down the road. You're going to want to be aware of that ahead of time. And FHA also uses escrow accounts for the taxes and insurance, and they'll typically hold about 3 months worth up front just to kind of buffer the account in case there's any shortages at the end of the year. But just make sure you have those funds available. That way there's no surprise. And if you do have some credit issues, having some extra funds available, say if you have a couple months worth of mortgage payments set aside after all your closing costs, that can help. It's like a compensating factor that can help offset something negative on your credit report. And having that extra cash, it mitigates the risk for the lender. So the more you have, the better, but make sure you have at least those essentials covered. And that's really, having those couple things is going to put you at the best odds for getting an approval on an FHA loan. So make sure you have your down payment covered. Clean up your credit report as best you can. Again, I'll make another video on that. Make sure you have 3 trade lines or 3 accounts that show on-time payments over the past 12 months. Have your money ready and all your down payment. And that's really going to help. And if you want to check on your credit, you can go to annualcreditreport.com. The government sponsors that site. You can get your credit report complimentary once per year for all 3 of the credit bureaus. And any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. I'm happy to help. And have a great day.